Tanya Miller is a Georgia state representative who served as a prosecutor in the Fulton County District Attorney's Office alongside Fani Willis, and she joins me now. First, I just want to ask about these motions made by both Jeffrey Clark and Mark Meadows to not just remove the case to federal court, but to not have to appear in Fulton County jail and be processed at all. What do you make of those? And were you surprised or not surprised by the judge's ruling that they can't do that?
Chris, no, I was not surprised that they asked for that. And I also was not surprised that the judge denied that fairly swiftly. As we know, and we've been talking about, these motions to remove the case from state court to federal court center around this idea that they were sort of federal employees or acting at the behest of federal employees doing federal business when they were allegedly colluding to steal the election down here in Georgia. I think that motion is going to be denied eventually. What they did, though, recently was ask Judge Jones, who is an Obama appointee, a fairly straight, middle-of-the-road, moderate federal judge, a real stickler for the rules, as most federal judges are. They asked the judge to stop Fani Willis from arresting Mark Meadows as he litigated his motion to have the case removed. Of course, there's no basis in the law or statute for that kind of freezing. And Judge Jones swiftly told them that, look, there is nothing in the removal statute that would allow me to stop Fani Willis from arresting you. We will get to your motion in due time as it is scheduled for next week. But in the meantime, you're on your own as it relates to that arrest warrant that's pending in Fulton County.
It's funny you said that, because when I saw that they had filed those motions, I asked my wife, who's a law scholar and legal expert, I was like, wait, can you do that? And she's like, I don't think there's much there. I don't think you can. Like, you can file your motions after you've turned yourself in and been arrested, but that's probably a bridge too far. Do you think, what do you anticipate in terms of the scene in Fulton County tomorrow? Obviously, with the ex-president showing up, obviously, you know, this is folks with quite a retinue. There's security issues, but it seems like they've hammered out something that they can get this done tomorrow.
Well, certainly, Chris, I expect it to be somewhat of a circus. We already have tons of cameras and attention and protesters and supporters all sort of descending on the Fulton County Courthouse and the Fulton County Jail. I think with the surrendering of the former president, we should see more of that. But I suspect all of the details have been worked out. The former president will probably pretty smoothly get into the jail, get booked, get fingerprinted, get his photo taken, his mugshot taken, and be out pretty quickly. But listen, this is a historic day, not just for Fulton County, not just for Georgia, but for the United States of America. We have a former president who is being booked into the Fulton County Jail, one of the actually the busiest jail in the state of Georgia, one of the busiest jails in this country, for serious felony charges. So I expect this will not be a regular day in Fulton County tomorrow, but the folks who show up and do their jobs every day will do what they've been doing, and that is trying to play the hand that they've been dealt and make this move as smoothly as possible for everybody involved.
All right, Tanya Miller, thank you as always for your time.